Good morning again, church. It's great to see everyone here with us. I hope that you are having a good start to your week. We are on the 11th day, so we're going to do Proverbs chapter 11 today. We've seen in the first part of these Proverbs that the beginning of knowledge is the fear of the Lord, and that wisdom is attained by the fear of the Lord as well. We've looked at the difference between wisdom and folly, and we've noted that everyone who walks in wisdom gains great life and righteousness. Those who walk in folly have nothing but death and destruction heading their way. Chapter 10, we kind of shifted a little bit from some personal integrity in the sense of being pure to yourself and to others and to your spouse, to moving into these nuggets of truth for everyday life. And we're going to see that here in chapter 11, talking about the difference between those who are righteous with wisdom and humble, and those who are wicked and do wicked things. And so these are things that happen every day in life that is being talked about here in chapter 11. So let's go ahead and start. Proverbs chapter 11. It says, "A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight." And we have everything in balances here when we buy things. Even when we go to the grocery store, we buy things by the ounce, by the pound, by the gallon, or by the liter. And we pay a certain amount per ounce or per pound for this item. And so here, if your balances are off, then the seller usually makes out on that situation. And so the delight of the Lord is to have just weights. When pride comes, then comes disgrace, but with the humble is wisdom. Pride goes before a fall, and so disgrace can happen there when you are proud. It says, "The integrity of the upright guides them, but the crookedness of the treacherous destroys them." So if you have integrity, you will be that'll be a guide for you. "Riches do not profit in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivers from death. The righteousness of the blameless keep his way straight, but the wicked falls by his own wickedness." So here, riches do not profit on that day. And there's nothing that's going to be delivered. But if you follow the Lord and follow his truth, you will be most richly blessed on that day of death. And so here again, be blameless and walk straight as well. "The righteousness of the upright delivers them, but the treacherous are taken captive by their lusts." And we see that often with folks. They get caught in a certain sin, a certain habit, a certain something that is destructive, and they continue to follow that for many, many days until they perish. It says, "When the wicked dies, his hope will perish, and the expectation of wealth or strength perishes too." So, wicked individuals only go after certain things in this life. And so here, this is one of those that they only go after. It says, "The righteous is delivered from trouble, and the wicked walks into it instead." And so we've seen that a lot of times. People are stuck with some kind of addiction or some kind of something that is going to harm them, and they continue to move forward in that direction when they have much counsel around them saying, "Don't do it." The righteous is delivered from that because they listen to good counsel. It says, with the mouth of the godless man, with his mouth the godless man would destroy his neighbor, but by knowledge the righteous are delivered. And so here, this individual will destroy his neighbor by saying terrible things about him, by disgracing him, by verbally abusing him. It says, but the knowledge of the righteous are delivered. That means they're going to not do these things. They're going to try to work things out with their neighbor. And of course, we see that in the New Testament where Jesus says, "Love your neighbor as yourself." It says, "When it goes well with the righteous, the city rejoices, and when the wicked perish, there are shouts of gladness. By the blessings of the upright, a city is exalted. By the mouth of the wicked, it is overthrown." So here we see that whenever the righteous, whenever those who are doing the works of wisdom are in a city, the city does well. It prospers, it grows. But when wickedness comes to that city, it is destroyed in different ways. It says, whoever belittles his neighbor lacks sense, but a man of understanding remains silent. I think here this goes right back to verse 9 where it says, with the mouth the godless man would destroy his neighbor. This is part of that, slandering his neighbor, belittling his neighbor instead of remaining silent, even if he is upset at his neighbor or her neighbor. It says, whoever goes about slandering reveals secrets, but he who is trustworthy in spirit keeps a thing covered. And so here, those who are trustworthy can keep a secret, can not only keep a secret, but hopefully help you go past this obstacle in your life and help you in the future. It says, where there is no guidance, a people fails or falls, but in the abundance of counsels, there is safety. And so again, with much counsel, you are able to do great things. And here, if you don't have any guidance, the people fall. It says, whoever puts up security for a stranger will surely suffer harm, but he who hates striking hands and pledge is secure. And so this is if we were to go back to chapter 10, this is like putting a name down for somebody else that you will pay for something and take care of that debt if they don't do it. And so here he's saying, don't do that. Don't strike hands on deals that you may or may not be able to accomplish in that part of your life. It says here, a gracious woman gets honor and violent men get riches. A man who is kind benefits himself, but a cruel man hurts himself. And so here we see a little bit of things happening here. A gracious woman will get honor from so many. Violent men get riches. Well, why is that? Well, a lot of times they get riches because they overthrow other people who are doing their work, and they steal in that sense. And so here they overcome and get riches by violence. But it says a man who is kind benefits himself, but a cruel man hurts himself. So it kind of goes both ways. If you are going to be a violent man and a cruel man, you're going to be hurting yourself in the long run. It says the wicked earns deceptive wages, but one who sows righteousness gets a sure reward. So there are those out there that are trying to earn a living by cheating others, but those who are trying to give a good service and do what is right are receiving a sure reward, if nothing else, just in the work that they are doing. Whoever is steadfast in righteousness will live, but he who pursues evil will die. So again, if you're doing what is right, if you're going towards God and doing his will, you're going to have a great reward. But if you do your own path, go your own way, as we read in the Old Testament, many people did, then you will surely die. Those of crooked heart are an abomination to the Lord, but those of blameless ways are his delight. So we have those with crooked hearts that the Lord does not like, but the blameless are his delight. Now, we talked earlier about not one of us are blameless. We've all sinned and fallen short of God's glory. But what we also see is that we are covered by that in the fact that Jesus bled and died for us. And because of that, we can now be blameless, and we can live a blameless life by following the rules of not only the scriptures, but of the land, as long as they go in harmony with the scriptures. It says, be assured, an evil person will not go unpunished, but the offspring of the righteous will be delivered. It says, like a gold ring in a pig's snout is a beautiful woman without discretion. The desire of the righteous ends only in good, the expectation of the wicked in wrath. So a gold ring, like a gold ring in a pig's snout, is a beautiful woman without discretion. And so that's kind of saying, you're putting your pearls before swine. In that sense, you're making something ugly try to be beautiful, even though what they are doing is not. And then, of course, the righteous does these things. Verse 24 says, one gives freely, yet grows all the richer. Another withholds what he should give and only suffers want. And that, of course, goes with some of the scriptures Jesus tells us about casting our bread upon the waters, and it will come back to us in manyfold. We are often more blessed when we give than when we receive. Whoever brings blessings will be enriched. The one who waters will himself be watered. So again, if you help others, you will be helped. The people curse him who holds back grain, but a blessing is on the head who sells it. So if there's a time of trouble, or any time, we need to be sure that we are taking care of others. Whoever diligently seeks good seeks favor, but evil comes to him who searches for it. Whoever trusts in his riches will fall, but the righteous will flourish like a green leaf. Whoever troubles his own household will inherit the wind, but the fool will be servant to the wise of heart. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and whoever captures soul is wise. If the righteous is repaid on earth, how much more the wicked and the sinner? And so here we see that we are going to be repaid by what we do. We reap what we sow. If we give, we will get. If we continue to do what is right, God will watch over and guide us. And so I encourage you with these words today that you will follow the path of righteousness, that you will try to give yourself over to the Lord in all that you do, and know that you can be righteous and blameless because of the blood of Jesus Christ. And if you have sinned and fallen short, give that over to Him, and He will be faithful to you. I thank you, and I hope that you have a very blessed day.